if we want to apply our properties of logs first, right? So we would write this as okay, and that's going to give us the derivative of log 2x plus 3 is 2 over 2x plus 3, right? Minus 2 over 2x minus 3. And they're not leaving it that way. Okay, how come? Because the denominators are conjugates. So we could get a common denominator here by multiplying this guy through by 2x minus 3 over 2x minus 3, and this one by 2x plus 3 over 2x plus 3.
I tried to do that, and I just couldn't get it to cancel. Like, I couldn't get it to look like
Okay, let's do that. Let's go through those steps. So I'm going to multiply here by 2x minus 3 over 2x minus 3. And here we'll multiply by 2x plus 3 over 2x plus 3. Okay, what happens? So if I multiply across then, I'm going to get this fraction. I'm going to get 4x minus 6. Whoops. 4x minus 6 over, that's a conjugate product, right? That's going to give us difference of squares. We're going to get 2x quantity squared minus 3 squared. So that's just 4x squared minus 9. Minus, there's my minus sign separating the two terms, minus 2 times 2x plus 3 is 4x plus 6, right? Okay, over my common denominator of 4x squared minus 9. So let's write this whole thing with my common denominator, right? Everybody see this? So on the bottom, we get a 4x squared minus 9. What do we get on the top? Well, on the top, we get this numerator, 4x minus 6, minus the other one, which I have to put in parentheses because I'm subtracting the whole thing, right? That's where you made your mistake, guaranteed. So it's negative 12. Because I'm gonna distribute the negative there, right?
Yeah, and I just thought it canceled to 0, and I was so confused. I was like, it doesn't. The answer is 0.
Right. So I end up those terms. You can see that these terms are going to cancel, and those terms are going to add. So we're going to get negative 12 over 4x squared minus 9. Okay? Make sense? That's a really common algebra mistake when you're subtracting fractions, is not to distribute that negative. Yep.
Is there any way to simplify this?
Let's look.
No. Mine is simplified. Yours is simplified all the way.
Is it? No. I don't know how I did it.
Yours is simplified.
Yeah, that's simplified. Yeah, there's nothing else you can do.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Question number 1 is, how do I implicitly differentiate 5y squared?
Okay, so what's the, well, it has to be an equation.
Well, like, just if I were to simplify it just right now, because I don't even know how to do that.
So 5y squared.
Yeah.
So say 5y squared if we're differentiating with respect to x, right?
Yeah.
So that's really just doing this. What's that give us? Okay, well, the derivative of 5 times hand squared is just 10 times hand, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first link is going to be 10y times, what's the next derivative going to be?
So y prime.
Y prime. because now we're looking inside what's behind my hand. Y. The derivative of that is y prime.
Okay. Okay, second question.
Okay.
Use implicit differentiation to find the derivative of y with respect to x when the equation is 2y equals fraction, I don't know how to say it, x plus 1 on the top, and then the bottom is y minus 1.
Okay. Well, there's a number of, I mean, we could do different things. You could just differentiate the way it is and use the quotient rule. I wouldn't do that. I would rather not use the quotient rule. So I would cross multiply because we have a proportion. Anytime you have a fraction equal to a fraction, we can eliminate the fractions by cross multiplying. Same thing as just distributing y minus 1 through everything, right? But it's easier to think about like this, right? We just cross multiply, and what do we get? Well, this cross product is going to be 2y times the quantity y minus 1. This cross product is just x plus 1. Okay? Now what? Do I differentiate now? I haven't even started differentiating. I'm just rewriting this. Okay, but then I've got to do product rule. What should I probably do instead? I want to distribute this so I get a polynomial, right? I mean, wouldn't that be easier? Okay, so if we distribute the 2y, then we're just going to get 2y squared minus 2y equals x plus 1. Now I'll implicitly differentiate because it's easier. I don't have to do the quotient rule then, right? You don't have to do it that way. Probably a textbook might even just differentiate that using the quotient rule, but why bother? It's easier just to multiply those out, to do a little bit of work up front to avoid the quotient rule, okay? So now if we differentiate, what do we get? What's the derivative of 2y squared with respect to x? Good, so 4y y prime minus, minus, what's the derivative of 2y? Well, 2y prime. Equals 1. Yeah, solve for y prime. Now you can do, now it's no big deal, right? Just factor out a y prime on the left and divide everything else away to the right side. Okay? What else?
I know I found it.
I'll read you another one.
Okay?
Find. Oh, yeah, use implicit differentiation to find whatever. Doing it with respect to x. 6x cubed plus 7y cubed equals 13xy.
Okay? That one, that's no big deal, right? I don't have any quotients there. I'm just going to differentiate. So what is the first, if I differentiate with respect to x, what do I get there?
I'll tell you what I got so far.
Okay?
I tried it and I got it wrong.
Okay.
I got 18x squared plus 21y squared times y prime equals 13x times y prime plus 13y. That's right.
Okay, so you did this. That's fine. So you get 13x y prime plus 13y. That's right. Okay, that's right.
Then I tried to move all my terms to the side.
Okay, well, what are we going to do? So we're going to subtract that term to that side and subtract that term to that side, right? And that's going to give us, I won't skip any steps then. So we're going to get 21y prime minus 13x y prime equals 13y minus 18x squared, right? So if I factor out a y prime and divide everything else away, aren't I just going to get y prime equals that? divided by 21 minus 13x.
Where did the y squared go? From the 21.
Yeah, but you
Y
still
squared.
did factor it out.
21.
Oh, I guess true.
Where did it? Where did? Oh, I forgot it, didn't I? Should be there. You're right. So that should be. There you go. Yep. Okay.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know why, but I got a negative in front. But I got that.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. Because what you did is, I know what you did. You pushed the y primes
I
to.
did the opposite that you did. Like I took the 21 to the other side.
Okay, that's fine. So you took the 21 to the other side, and then you subtracted the 13y to this side, right? So, okay, so you had this then. You had this, and these are equal, right? You had this. You had, what you should have had was negative 13y plus 18x squared divided by 13x minus 21y squared, right? And what you did, though, is you put that negative out front.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't do that, though, because that negative is not a factor of the top. It's only a factor of that first term. You see what I'm saying? To factor a negative 1 out front, you would have to undistribute a negative 1 from both terms. Okay? Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay? So if you put a negative out front, which you wouldn't do, why would you? But if you did, you would have to do this first. You'd have to say negative, factor a negative out of the top, right? Now that's a factor of the top, so I could pull it out front because it's being multiplied by everything on top. See the difference?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right.
And, there were 3 minutes.
Well, that might be enough.
Finish it. Square root x plus 4 plus y squared.
Outside?
Not x plus 4, x to the 4th.
Oh,
Sorry. And then the y squared is also underneath. So x to the 4th plus y squared is underneath the square root.
okay. Equals.
3x plus 9y cubed.
Okay. Well, so it's just chain rule, right? The only part that's hard would be this one.
Yeah.
If we differentiate this one, that's just hand to the 1/2. What's the derivative of hand to the 1/2? Okay, so that's 1/2 hand to the negative 1/2, right? And hand is just x to the 4th plus y squared. Well, there's the first link. The derivative of square root of hand is that, right? 1/2 hand to the minus 1/2 times. Now you got to look behind your hand. What's the derivative of x to the 4th plus y squared?
4x cubed plus.
Yeah, it's going to be, 4x cubed plus 2y y prime. Exactly.
Just the other side.
Yeah, equals. Other side.
Okay.
Exactly.
I might
Yeah.
be able to do it now that I see the view.
Yeah, you can do it.
So I probably won't come up with that.
Yeah,
No trouble.
it might be better. I mean, it might